Hi guys! So today for day 14 of the 31 Days of Horror, I'm going to review the film Annabelle. Annabelle is a prequel slash spin-off of the film The Conjuring. And during the first maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little more, first part of The Conjuring, they go over the case of the Annabelle doll, which is just a mother bought this doll from a thrift store, gave it to her daughter who was a nurse or training to be a nurse. The doll starts to end up places where she didn't put it. She and her roommate call a medium. The medium tells them that the doll is just possessed by a little girl named Annabelle. So they leave it alone because, it's just a little girl. She's lonely. It's not really harmful. But as time goes on, the doll gets more sinister, leaving notes, writing on the walls, and physically attacking one of the girl's boyfriends or friend or male friend, I'm not sure which. They get a hold of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who say that the doll is not possessed. It is being manipulated by a demon. They take the doll and put it in a locked case in their home where they have a room full of objects that have been cursed or haunted, or they have a negative energy from cases they've done. So this film is kind of like an origin story. It focuses on a married couple named John and Mia. Mia is pregnant. They've been arguing a lot, or not a lot, but they've been arguing some because John is really stressed from, I guess he's fixing to be a medical intern doctor. So he's stressed from that, and he's stressed about having a child for the first time. So they get into an argument, and to make up for it, he gives Mia a doll. He was going to give it to her after the baby was born, I think, but he gives her this doll. And it's a large porcelain antique doll. And I guess it completes part of a collection of dolls she has or whatnot. That night, Mia gets awoken by a scream from their next door neighbors. John goes to investigate and discovers that both the neighbors have been murdered. While Mia's in the house, she had went out to see what was going on, went back in the house. She discovers that the two murderers, a male and a female, are in the house. The male grabs Mia, stabs her in the stomach. John comes in to try to protect Mia. Then the police come in shortly after and shoot the male murderer, but the female murderer goes into the nursery that John and Mia have been setting up. While in there, she kills herself. And for some reason, she was holding Annabelle, like the doll. She picked up the doll. And she kills herself, and her blood gets onto the doll. After that, strange things start happening. Mia notices some strange things around the house. And then one night, John had left to go on a business trip. The house almost burns down. She almost dies in the fire. So they move. John had gotten rid of the doll, but when they move to their new place, he discovers the doll in a box, and instead of getting rid of it again, Mia says since it's here, maybe it just needs to be here and to let it stay. And she had her baby after the fire. The supernatural activity gets worse and worse and more powerful and frequent and physically abusive. And so the rest of the film just follows the activity getting stronger and more physical, and Mia and John dealing with it and the other people that get involved with the doll while trying to help them. So I know a lot of people didn't like this film, and I completely understand that. But for me, it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. This especially more so the first half and the latter half, or there's some moments in the latter half. It was actually kind of creepy. There were some good kind of jump scares, different kind of scares in there. It wasn't just so much the doll being creepy, it was kind of the stuff happening. It wasn't so much focused entirely on the doll, that was more so focused on the supernatural activity happening around these characters. So yeah, there was some good scares. It was creepy. The music, especially, is very reminiscent of Insidious, I thought. The Conjuring as well, but more like when I heard the music and the sound effects, it more reminded me of Insidious. It reminded me of Insidious with the type of music choices and sound effects. Just like that jarring type of the sound effects was something was going to happen or to make you jump, like more so Insidious than Conjuring. Though the Conjuring used it a good bit too. So for negative points of this film, because I did overall enjoy it, the main characters, John and Mia, are very bland characters. I've heard a lot of people say or read that the acting was bad. I didn't think it was bad. I just think that the characters and the personality of the characters was just very bland. It just wasn't. I don't know. And I think in Conjuring and Insidious, I'm just comparing those two because, like I said, it's related. There were good characters, interesting characters, and John and Mia are just not interesting people. They're just your kind of run-of-the-mill average couple. The characters just weren't very interesting. Not that the acting was bad. And I will have to say the ending kind of fell flat for me. It was just not really. Some of the parts near the ending were interesting, but the ending itself and the resolution didn't work that great for me personally. But Annabelle, overall, I'd give it a 5.5 to a 6. I might not watch it again, or it's not something I would, recommend to a bunch of people, but it was a decent watch, and yeah, I've seen way, way, way worse horror movies in my time, but it was decent. If you like The Conjuring or Insidious, I think that you'll enjoy this film. And of course, if you didn't like those films, I don't think you would, because it's kind of a similar tone to those. So that was day 14 of the 31 Days of Horror. And as always, thank you so much for watching.